Hello and welcome back, Josh, Sam, and anyone else who's watching to Swindon't You Forget About Me. Now, there'll be some things you can see. We are rich. We won a game 20-0. Silly, silly, silly. But yes, we have many, many things to talk about. Many, many, many things. But first, I thought it would be nice to go through the history of us. So I'm going to look at the Swindon Town Best 11 ever, which actually is a little bit disappointing, because if you look at the overall team, forever, thank you. The best strikers apparently ever to have played for Swindon Town are Jonathan Obika and Lloyd Wilmot. That makes sense. Left wing Matt Ritchie, Grant Bartley, who is the current manager of Stoke. Then there's this man Marco da Silva, who doesn't exist. Irvis Shehu, who is now a striker for Derby. Then there's Ollie Lancashire, who actually surprisingly in real life actually did play for Swindon as well. Then there's this Don Ferguson, who's the assistant manager of Gillingham. There's this guy Darren Cole, who doesn't exist anymore. There's this Ian Robinson, and then Wes Fotheringham, who is a goalkeeping coach at Gillingham. Actually, Gillingham wasn't he at Gillingham as well? So the old boys of Swindon are playing at Gillingham. But I thought it'd be fun to look at, just go through, see some of the best players, remember some players. So obviously last season's team here, score of 153,000. I don't really know what that means, but you can see how we did there statistics wise, all of our best players. Sucky coming in at Christmas, 23 games, 3 goals, 7.34 average rating, not bad at all. And there's some other lads there. It's kind of fun. It actually would have been more fun if the overall thing had included some more of the actual players that you guys know. So I sort of did a little scroll back through previously, found that you have to go quite a long way back to find anyone even slightly really interesting. And then you guys don't really remember. But there's like Jean-Jacques Pelletier, he plays for Cardiff now. He's rubbish. They all are. When was the first year in the Premier League? Where was it? That year there. So I'm pretty sure we played that season on camera, right? So the first player was Daniel, the goalkeeper. He's still around. He's actually still available. I could get him in. Rene Sentry, can't believe he played for us. 33 years old now, plays for Blackburn in the Championship. He played badly for them last season. He's playing badly for them this season. Mr. Bourgault, only recently was still playing for us. He now plays for Le Mans. There you go. After 2 years in Stuttgart. So well done to him. He's still going good. Philip Riedl's still about as well. He plays for St. Pauli now. He's 35 years of age. I wonder if he's interested in becoming... he's going to become a coaching role or a manager when he retires, which is cool. Good for him. There's also... Do you remember Zenzunen? Erwin Zenzunen. He's not that great. He has played a decent Premier League career with Hull, though. After we made some money on him. So well done, Erwin. Who else was there? Edis Yusuf Basic. Do you remember him? He plays for Parma. Long time ago he was with us, only for 3 years. Got us promoted, playing very well. Did okay the next season. Did not do so well the next season. So we sold him to Stoke. The fools. Patrick Marshall. He's a coach now. I think he was a left winger. Did we have him for a left winger? Sold him to Newcastle for £1.5 million at what must have been the age of about a lot. Anyone else? Tommy McAllister, he's a coach, actually a decent coach as well. So well done him, I guess. Maybe if I can get an increased amount of coaches, I can get him in. Jurgen Becken, of course, playing for Western-super-Mare. He's only 27. He's still young. Sold him 2 years ago to West Ham. He did badly, and then Western-super-Mare decided they wanted him as well. So Lord knows he'll probably score for them against us. Western-super-Mare seem to do very well against us. He's a player that I actually genuinely didn't even remember. Giuseppe Marcagnelli, 35 when he retired, which can't have been that long after. He played 6 years in Italy for Regina. He was never very good, so unlucky for him, I suppose. Whoops, no. And then, of course, Mitchell Lockley, who, I don't know if you actually remember Mitchell Lockley, but he did 1 season for us in the Premier League. Was a bit of a legend. I really liked him. He wasn't very good though, and he went on to retire at the age of 31, which is a shame because he was really good back then. He fired us into the Premier League, so can't complain. Kane Bowers is another one. I don't know if you remember him, but he now plays for Spurs. I bought him off of Charlton for 4.2 million. We sold him to Norwich, who had just let him go on a free, for 6 million, and then they sold him to Spurs for 9.75 million. He had one good season there, that season there in the Championship, and they bought him for 10 million pounds. I mean, he's not that good. I also had him when we were in League One, although I don't think that was my League One season. I think there was another one. Anyway, so a little bit of history there, and yeah. So last season we finished. Where are we? Last season we finished 4th, finally breaking that. Finally breaking through that glass ceiling there. We are now in the Champions League. We have a pretty freaking simple tie, if you ask me. I'll talk about it in a minute. We also won the FA Cup, which is cool. If we go to the history of the competitions wins, we have started to populate this list a lot more recently. So we've added to our League Cup triumph. We've added 2 FA Cups. We've added a European Super Cup, lol. We've also added the Community Shield, and we've added the European Cup, which is the Europa League. So well done us. We're doing very, very well. It's all coming up. Millhouse. Now, there has been some transfers, so get ready, hold your hats on the top of your head. We have made some money and we've spent some money. Okay, so we'll talk about the outs, and then we'll talk about the ins. Andreas Jepsen, 22 years of age, not progressing as well as I'd hoped, sold to Southampton for £3.3 million. That's a profit of £3.3 million. Yay. Jair, at the age of 30, and never really a starter in the team, he has gone back to Brazil. £2.5 million. We've taken a cut, but I mean, we got some good years out of him. I think that's fair. He's gone off to Santos, and good luck to him. I liked him. He was always good, never complaining, which is nice. Then the next player we lost, Kevin Van Rethy, a player that you probably wouldn't have expected me to get rid of, but there is a reason. Kevin Van Rethy has gone £7.5 million. We actually somehow made a profit on him. He did very well for us for 3 years. He won all the trophies that I mentioned that we've won. He won them all. And now he's gone off to Weston-super-Mare. Obviously, he likes the name Wheatland, so he's chasing it about. Musa Fall has gone off on a free and has actually signed for AS Nancy Lorraine in League One, the first League One in Liga, where he has played 2 games badly. So well done him. We also got rid of Mohamed Yilmaz, this young striker who I bought for a little bit of money, loaned into Forest. He wasn't very good, and then he continued to not be very good. Maybe he'll do well in Belgium. Then one player that I did not intend to sell was Jordi Fatut. He's an absolutely sensational goalkeeper. He's 22 years of age. We'd only had him for 2 years. We bought him off Arsenal for £6.5 million, but Real Madrid activated what I did not realise was a release clause, £14 million. Off he goes. So there's your first crisis. We then, second crisis, Victor Savinov. What to do with him? I wanted to get rid of him. I think that was a good call. Somehow, he came through at Swindon again. I still find that weird. He did badly in all of his loans, and then for some reason Ipswich wasted £2.3 million on him. So, okay, fine. They can have him. They're welcome to him. He's not going to get any better than that. And we got some money out of him, so I'm pretty happy with that. Then we sold. We didn't sell. Sorry, we sent Mauricio Arias out on loan to Port Sporting, where he will have his fun for another year. He did well last year on loan. Where was he last year on loan? At Braga. He did pretty well. So hopefully another year in the Portuguese league will give him some exposure. We then somehow managed to... Well, no, we lost... Sorry, we somehow managed to make money is what I was going to say, but we didn't. We lost money on Nicola Peña. He's not good. I made a mistake in buying him. He's gone off to Wolfsburg. Fine. Sometimes they don't work out. Audrius Semelis has gone on loan to Sunderland, who are in the Championship. Hopefully he can get some games. Seems to have done pretty well for them in the non-competitive games, but hopefully he can sort of progress a little bit. He doesn't look like he's going to end up being as good as seemingly everyone else thinks he will be. Maybe I should have cashed in on him. I don't know. But out the door, he's got a season at a good club. He should be okay. We then sold Ernest Colino, who's another player who lots of people wanted. He didn't seem to have any... I don't see he's got much of a future in the game, at least at the level that we're at. So I thought, well, why not? Instead of whilst we're sort of fending off all these suitors, why not just sell him to one of them? So I sold him to the one that offered me the most money, which was Southampton. Now, if we go back, That's Colino. We then sent Jiri Petr on loan to Burnley. I still have hope that he'll be good. So he's gone on loan to Burnley, who are in the Championship. That's probably, I worry that might be his level, but you never know. Another player who went on loan, Nick de Grais. He's not going to be any good, but whatever, let him get some game time. We then sold sent on loan Angel Viotti, the defensive midfielder that we have, to Estudiantes. Hopefully he will get some improvement seen there. Then we sold Francisco Padilla in possibly, both of these two. One of them is going to prove to have been a mistake, to have done quite all of this stuff at the same time. But Padilla has gone. He went for £8.5 million to FC Bayern Munich, which is fine. I was pretty happy to get rid of him. He made such a fuss over the summer, you wouldn't believe. I've never even had the kind of, like, there was a conversation that I had with him on the game where it said, like, I hate you and I want to leave. And I've never had it. There was this huge section of argument topics that I could basically give him. It was weird. So I thought, I want rid of him. Then at one point he said, actually, maybe I could stay. And I was like, no, get the hell out. So there he went. And then we also loaned Just Jeff out to FC Bayern Munich. This, I think, may prove to be a mistake. But he's technically the worst of the strikers we have. So we'll see. He's good for a sensational goal. I don't know. Anyway, we also got more for him on loan than we paid for him in the first place. So he's already made his money back just from that. If we sell him later on, then that'll do us nicely. Now, you'll see that we've done all that. It's been busy outs. The ins is quite busy, and you can see that we've spent quite a lot of money. So let's go through them. There's a few that I brought in from last season. So there's Diederik Smits. Concerned that he won't get as good as I thought he might, but nevertheless, 17-year-old, he's down in the under-18s. Same story with Mitchell Duisberg. He was actually predicted to become very, very good. He's 15. There's potential. He could. And then Chris Swinkles, who's also 15, a goalkeeper. He looks decent. I'm pretty happy with him. So those three came in from the Netherlands. Then we brought in Chadgas Uslu from Kaiserslautern, 16 years of age. Pretty decent. Hoping he'll be okay. I actually signed him, I just offered him a contract, but that was the tribunal fee. Then another player who came in from Ajax, we've been plundering them this season, is the defender Mohamed van Loon. He is Crazy Mo. That's a great nickname. Crazy Mo. There we go. So Crazy Mo, he's come in, left-footed centre-back, very good at defending, maybe not so great in the air and quick, but he's good. He's in the van. The next player, the next three players are, I hope, worth the money I spent on them. Obviously, I have a feeling he definitely will, because we only paid £1 million for him. But the other two, I have a bit of a history with signing players for a lot of money and then them not turning out good. So, the first player from Nacional de Madeira is Peter McBride. This guy, yeah, he's pretty good. He's American, and he's great. I actually tried to. So this is. I don't remember if I mentioned it, but I definitely went in for Peter McBride when he went to them in the first place. I'm pretty sure we couldn't pay wages for him or something. We might have even had a bid accepted for him, but anyway, he chose Nacional over us, and now we have got our man later. Obviously, we have to spend a lot of money to get him, but he's in the van, and he's very good. We then have Frank Lauritsen, the goalkeeping solution that I was looking for. For £1 million from Go Ahead Eagles. I'm surprised he was so cheap. I feel like, unless I'm missing something, he's clearly not great in the air, but I'm not sure why his aerial stats aren't so high, because his jumping's good. What else influences that, do you think? His handling, maybe? Or maybe it's the tendency to punch? I'm not sure, but anyway, so for some reason he looks like he's bad in the air, but for me, like it seems like the main thing that you would need for that is pretty good, and he's 6'2", so I don't know quite what that means. Anyway, he's now our number one. And then, because we sold two strikers, I thought we need to bring in one more. Well, we sold three. I brought in from Olympique Lyon, Clement Ngobese, the South African striker. He's very, very good. at finishing and running. And he's also good in the air, so I think he'll be good. He scored 4 in his one game, although that was a 20-0 thrashing, so I don't know what you want to read into that. I don't really like doing this, but I'm going to show you a player that I missed out on. So you'll remember Andrade from before. Now you'll be gutted for me that I did not manage to get in this fella here, right? Leon Kraft. I was looking through the Bundesliga and look at him. He's amazing. But I couldn't. I got a bid accepted for 30 million, but then he wanted £120,000 a week, and I could offer that, but I could not offer him the bonus him and his fucking agent wanted. So I tried everything by giving him other kind of bonuses, but it got to the point where I'd have basically bankrupted the club every time he played and scored a goal to get him to accept, and I thought it's really not worth knocking the club out just for that. But I mean, Christ, he's amazing. I would have had him. This is what we could have had. And I will just show you Andrade again. It was a similar case of, I think the bid I had accepted. No, I didn't even get a bid accepted. They eventually negotiated, saying they wanted £54 million for him. He's worth £4.8 million. They wanted £54 million. And is that because he has what's his contract? Minimum fee release clause is £190 million. So we didn't get him. Is the fucking end of that, right? So I'll just talk about the fixtures. So what we've got here is the pre-season games. Not as many as usual, I think. We played Middlesbrough, beat them 3-1. Everton beat them 3-1, and Prague, we beat them 2-0. Those games there, were all when a lot of our players were playing in international tournaments. So, for example, England just won the European Championships. A lot of our other players were playing in other things, so we didn't have a full squad for most of those. In fact, Padilla scored in quite a few of them. We then played current European champions AC Milan at home, 0-0. It wasn't a great game. We didn't do that well. Oh no, well, we did dominate them. I would think that they probably didn't play their first team. But yeah, and then we played the Abertillery Bluebirds, who we beat 20-0. We scored nearly every shot we had. Lloyd Wilmot scored 7 goals. Ngabezi scored 4. Just Jeff got a hat trick. So it was a fun day out. I don't know how useful that was, but the problem was the only clubs who would be willing to play me on that date were ridiculously good teams that I didn't really want, or they were like Man City, Man United. And I was like, I don't really want to play Premier League teams in pre-season. It's boring. So I just went for the first team on the next list down, which was very low reputation teams, and this was the result. So they've only ever played one game, I think, in their entire history because of the way the Football Manager works. And so, yeah, 20-0. Anyway, what that means is the next game of the season is the Community Shield. That's what we're going to do today. It's been quite a chat-heavy episode, so that's what we'll end on. But it's worth noting, we have a very hard start to the season, Burnley, Chelsea, Man United. But we also have a Champions League best placed playoff game. We are playing Maccabi Haifa from the Israeli Premier League. I'm not sure if we've played them before. I don't think we have. I'm pretty sure we played them when we were Schlansk manager. But I will be bringing you, at the very least, the second leg. I don't think I'm going to record both. I don't think they're that good, to be perfectly honest. Have we played each other before? No. So yeah, I don't think they're that good, so I don't see there's any point in watching both and playing both those games on camera, but I will definitely be playing Chelsea and Haifa so that you can see where we come in the Champions League group, and then you can also see us play Chelsea. Woo woo woo. Right, so let's get on with things. It's been a busy, chatty, heavy episode. Now we get to see how the new boys play as we look to win our second ever Community Shield. Man City obviously have the better record, although I think we've not got a bad record. Why is Wilmot? Oh, right, because of the, yeah. I was going to say, why are they all not able to play? But it's because, let's just remove the bench completely. So the one problem I am having is that we have too many players who are not English, unfortunately. So it means that some players may miss out at certain points. But it is what it is. Right, so Wilmot as our only other striker on the bench. We're going to put in, we've got Crazy Mo and Sucky there. We've got McBride in the middle. I would probably say that Martin should go there. Crazy Mo up here with Charmy. But actually, I think Charmy's going to play. We're going to play... No, Sarapia is just coming back for quite a long-term injury, so he's going to be out. Montufar can come in. Ali Pekli can come in. And that means we are left with... Özcan can join the party as well. Topic is injured, Stas is injured, and Rodriguez is travelling. Topic will only be back in a couple of days, tomorrow probably, and Stas is back in a couple of days. But a couple of unfortunate injuries in those last couple of games in the pre-season has meant that we are looking a little bit light on the right at the moment. But we should be fine. Martins, Saki, McBride, Ngabezi, and Patrick. Is Ngabezi right-footed? Yes, he is. And Patrick, I think, is also right-footed, right? He is. Let's just play them like that. We'll see how it goes. Wilmot's probably coming into his final season at the club. His contract ends at the end of the year. He's very much slower now. Although, I mean, he can't be that much slower than he was last season, but I think that it might well take an impact on his form. We'll see. You never know. And I wonder if... I didn't bother checking, which is stupid, but I wonder if Man City are playing with any first-teamers, or if they're just going to sort of throw this game, which is what the time we won it before when we played Arsenal. We beat them something like 3-0 or something. We were very comfortable winners in that game anyway. Laveau out to Martins. So left back was... So right back, it was another area where I thought I might be able to get a quality signing. Actually, Napoli, our conquerors in the Europa League, offered us up their right back. I also got offered a sensational midfielder from Real Madrid for some reason. The computer clubs sort of just every so often think we're too good, need to get rid of best player. And they had this absolutely ridiculous centre midfielder who I got a bid accepted for because they only wanted to sell him for £9 million. But he... and I think I even managed to offer him a contract, if I'm not mistaken. But the problem was everyone else offered him way more money. Like I think I offered him a maybe £20,000 increase on his current wage, and I think he ended up being paid over £100,000 from Cortez saves from. I think he went to Juventus. Actually, he was a striker, but there was another one. Anyway, Ngabezi to Barron. Ngabezi, lovely bit of football there. Come on. Oh, he manages to save it. That was a great little 1-2 from Ngabezi and Barron. Schwertfeger gives it away. Out to Martins. Martins, can he put it in? McBride to Martins. Martins, no. McBride, though, goes straight in there. Clay being pushed back. It was interesting as well. I was looking through the Premier League, sort of thinking, I've got £30 million. Maybe I can use it to snaffle up a young and up-and-coming striker, a bit like the Cunningham mould. But all the best teams all the teams who have really good strikers are obviously the biggest teams. And the problem that they have are all their players that are really good are 30 at least. And so I'm... Okay. Ashraf Bar fouled in the box. So I'm not going to spend £30 million on someone who is already 30. If they were 26, maybe I could consider it, but I was not going to do that. So yeah, I had to go abroad looking for players, which is how I found that dude at Schalke. God, he was so good. Anyway, McBride. I haven't really talked about the game so far. It's not been that interesting. Machasek. We had a lot of interest in him, a lot of interest in Serapio. Ngabezi. Good save from Cortez. Straight at him, though. We had a lot of interest for all of our players, I want to say, except for Laveau, which is a shame. Oh, Gillich. Lovely stuff. Patrick, go on, get on the end of that. Patrick's flattering to... He's again not doing as well as I'd hoped. This is why I'm hoping that Ngabezi does come through, and that I hope that giving away Just Jeff isn't a bad move, because Patrick has not yet proved that he was worth the £8 and a bit million that we spent on him. He's looking very average. Estevez, Gillich, strange decision to head over his own bar, but he did it. Schwert, there you go. Martins clears. We're looking good in the air. That's what I like to see. A Ben Whitland team that is dominant in the air. Shocker. Saki also, we only signed him in January for what, £5 million, maybe not even that. And I was attracting bids of 10, 15 million. Oh, Estevez scores. Lauritsen doesn't get there. So we're 1-0 down. It doesn't really matter. It's the not the Champions League final. It's the Community Shield, the final of the Community Shield. But yeah, would be nice to win it. Machasek to McBride. Machasek, Barron. Out to Machasek again. Patrick. Barron. Patrick, great save. This Cortez guy, he's obviously their number one keeper. He's real good. Martins crosses. Nobody gets there. Schwertferger clears. Laveau to McBride to Barron to McBride to Barron. Oh, and Gabezi. It's a corner. Okay, Martins corner. It comes in. No, doesn't even get past the first man. But it's back out to Martins. Martins, can he get the cross? No. Laveau. McBride goes for the shot. Hits the crossbar. Nice. Clay. Yeah, we're piling on the pressure. That we do. Chami. Out to Suki. Suki's been tackled. It's out to Schwertferger on the left, who's just in acres of space. No one can catch him. He went for it himself. Strange decision. Clay seems to have cleared it for them, but that's something they've somehow managed to hang on to the ball. Leque. Clear it, please. Thank you. We're just about getting back. Come on. Crying out loud. Oh, they lower some good save. And they're not, well, what's the stats like? We're doing pretty well against them. I'm still not convinced that this is their best team, but it's a pretty decent side. Oh, Manchester. Now then, Schwertferger, Suki, Clay. They've still got it on the edge of our box. We've pushed out quite far, considering they're really good. Yeah, okay. And Gabezi gets it with all the composure in the world, kicks it out into their bench. Casa now to Bah. Oh, he's done another foul. That's surely a yellow card at this point. Yeah, that's what I like to see. Oh, didn't make anything of it though, did we? So we had a long period of pressure there, and what did we do with it? Nothing. McBride though, Machasek. This might even be the first time. I think this is McBride's first game for the club at all. He's not even played for in the pre-season games because of the aforementioned international fixtures. It's off the bar. Gillich has scored. Doesn't count though. Was that offside? That seems harsh. If it was offside, what the fuck's he doing that far forward? Well, we're never going to find out. Not this century anyway. Come on, there we go. I mean, I don't think Gillich was. There's an argument to be made that says Patrick was. Is that Patrick? Yeah. Half-time whistle. Right, well, I'm going to say that I'm not happy with them. In fact, I might even say I met that one, yeah. And then I'm going to say calmly there's a lot more to come. Because there is a lot more to come. We're better than this. The finishing particularly has been poor. Patrick's looking wound up, which is amazing because he hasn't really done anything at all. Maybe that's why. Oh, here we go. Schwertferger to Clay. Clay. Laveau gets it and gets it clear. Only as far as Estevez. It's still in there in our half. Come on. Cortez. Over to Casa. To Agarkov. Oh, God. Suki clears. Okay. Right. Laveau to Gillich. I need to make sure that I remember to change the intensity of our training, by the way. Gillich puts it in the middle, and Gabezi is saved again. That's ridiculous. He must be man of the match, Cortez. Cortez, big ball up. Suki gets there. Oh, man. It's quite a bitty game, considering the quality of their team, and our team's pretty good as well. Patrick, what's he going to do? Gives it to Ngabezi. Ngabezi goes round his man and hits it wide. Unlucky son. Gillich isn't playing well. I suspected that might be the case. Peckley maybe can come on for Gillich. I don't know. Wilmot maybe for... look, because Ngabezi's somehow playing badly. I don't know what's going on there. Let's give him a chance to play on his preferred side. Obviously Wilmot is coming on to play on his not preferred side, but he did score nearly 30 goals from that position last season, so he should be okay. 67 minutes gone. Machasek has been booked. Gillich is really playing badly. Okay, Peckley is going to come on, and we're going to bring on Montufar as well. Should have maybe taken off Ngabezi. He's not playing well at all. Actually, I'd argue that he is playing well. It's just the goalkeeper's playing better. But Football Manager is how it is run. Martins. Okay, Machasek, Chami. McBride, Maciasek moving forward now with the ball. He's a okay. That was not what I thought he was going to do. And yes, because it didn't look like it was any chance, but he did it anyway. Right, Gillich. So we're making our changes now. The classic Wheatland 3. 75 minutes gone. Oh, we do have a chance. Maciasek. Wow. Well, it's not what I would have done. I would have crossed it to the players that we've got in the box, what are big and tall and that. Schwertferger, Ali Apekli, and Gabezi to Maciasek. Now we've got the opportunity to break with the slowest man in the world. It's Lloyd Wilmot to Charmy to McBride. Back to Charmy. Crosses the ball. Great ball in. And Gabezi heads over. He's had his chances today to buffer. Charmy to Maciasek. Can we get a late equal? Oh, we nearly did. Nearly got a late equaliser. Cortez is playing out of his skin though. He's having a fantastic game. They probably deserve to win it based on his performance alone. And Gabezi to Montufar, Laveau. Montufar doesn't move quick enough, gives it to them. I nearly sold Montufar this summer as well, but I thought no, we don't. We do need some players. Wilmot. Wilmot finally does score, but it was offside. Again, I'm not convinced it was offside. That was roughly where it was, wasn't it? We're not even going to get to see it. That's how offside it was. Well, we dominated them. They had basically 1 or 2 chances, right? But we did not win. Yeah, we were dominant. They did win. Lauritsen was the man of the match, which I think is probably fair. Although, actually, the Man City keeper played almost as well. So, yeah, well, it is what it is. Well done, Man City. We don't really care about this cup. And nobody does ever, so it's fine. Arsenal have been the runners-up every year for the past 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so was it 6, 7 years? Unbelievable. Dear, that's fun. I like that. Swansea versus Western-super-Mare. When was that? That was a long time ago. Oh wow, there's been some rubbish Community Shield games involving Western-super-Mare. Sunderland, West Ham, Cardiff, Everton. When was the Swansea one? Where we came third 3 times in a row. Second 3 times in a row. Well, there we go. Anyway, so that's the end of that video then. Like I said, I will be back in time for Odi Nagalo. He likes me, that's nice. Let's just do this. Yeah, we did. We played well. I don't want to say anything that get me in trouble. You do have to praise the opposition goal. He was amazing. Frank was good. He did have a decent game. I am not interested in him. Stop trying to make me buy him. Yeah, well, I mean, come on, we were close, lads. That's harsh from the. That's quite a set of results. 0-0, 20-0, 0-1. Yeah, so I'll be back for Chelsea and Maccabi Haifa. So I'll see you then, guys. Bye.